How propaganda takes advantage of Google and their search engine algorithm AI being stupid. This is the history of the information. I'm just going to give it to you in one shot. 2007 to 2012, not the current year or decade. Well, not really anyway. John Beilman worked for a company called Ultralife, and he described himself on his LinkedIn page when it was visible as a product designer and manufacturing guy. And what do they make? All sorts of things. Do they make batteries? Do they make cell phone? And if you look up their web page and insert the word into Google, look up the word military, army, or CIA, or any other buzzword that'll get people's attention and get your page views, does something come up? I'll leave a link below that literally runs that experiment. Okay? Let's learn from this absolutely worthless attempt at forcing a meme. Okay? Now let's get to the next step. October of 2017, an event happened that was in the news. Okay? Next. October 4th, between then and October 4th, a story came up because the police department in Las Vegas had to keep saying stuff. They'd end up having to walk back instead of just saying, we don't know. Just say, I don't know. They said something about a cell phone charger in Paddock's room being found that didn't match any of the cell phones in the room. Now, instead of saying, we found evidence that he has other cell phones, we're going to go search his house, they just said, we found an extra charger that didn't match. One of these statements is non-ambiguous. It means they have to go find a cell phone. The other one is stupidly, bizarrely badly phrased. Public service announcement to police departments and officials everywhere. Are you about to do an interview or a press conference? Okay. Look at every other time a bonehead like you did that and say, I'm not going to be a bonehead today. Are you thinking of reporting tentative results? You're probably going to have to walk back? Do I have to repeat myself? When in doubt, shut up. I don't want to hear Lombardo's voice ever again. Please. I don't look at Trump's tweets because, honestly, I have better things to do, like wipe my ass. So here we go. Next, October 4th. Fairport, New York police found John Beilman, who was 60 years old at the time, similar age range to Paddock, so it would show up on search engine ranking because search engine algorithms look at that stuff. He had killed a relative and then himself. Or if you're a conspiracy theorist, it was the other way around somehow. And it was trending. His name was trending with the word murder or suicide or shooting. Stephen Paddock committed suicide. He shot people. Same search engine categorization. Same month, same year, the current year. When we look up Paddock, shooting, suicide, Las Vegas, we get New York, suicide, murder, and another name. Hey, let's do our moo-ha-ha impression and put them onto a page. So how do we connect these guys? Well, we look up John Beilman, find out he had a LinkedIn page that mentioned he worked for a company called Ultralife. So let's look up Ultralife's page. Oh, there it is. Okay, let's look up the word military, CIA, government contract, all the keywords. I bet you if somebody could go look back at that day, moo-ha-ha typing, oh look, we found something that mentioned vaguely military. And Stephen Paddock's missing, well, they're missing a cell phone. That's not exciting. Could have dropped it, forgotten it, smashed it because it had evidence, thrown it in the trash the day before so it's already gone to the garbage heap. You could have just left it at home. Foreshadowing. So anyway, what happens? Well, on the 5th, somebody mentioned, and this began to trend, Stephen Paddock has no military background, as a quote. Somebody. That was a quote that had been before that probably, but on the 5th it was starting to trend. Military, and Paddock was showing no. Well, we can't have that. We have to stick FEMA camps and razor trains. FEMA trains. Don't look up razor trains. This isn't the Half-Life episode you're looking for. Crowbar. Sniper crowbar. It's got a scope on it. Precision bludgeoning. So here we go. Let's beat this stupid meme to death. Making the assertion that something has or hasn't happened, the easiest way to take advantage of that on search engines is to say the precise opposite. If I say, I have never dressed as a rainbow-colored unicorn, someone's going to meme that. It's... Every day you go on the net, you see this. Every time Trump says no collusion, someone makes a new Trump is colluding with the Russians meme. Something bad happened on the 6th. Not only was his military background found to be non-existent, but the investigators found the other cell phone. By the way, they phrased it that way. We found the other cell phone that was missing. They didn't phrase it, we found the cell phone that went with the extra charger or the mysterious charger or whatever meme everybody else was using. So it had no effect on their page ranking. The search engines kept paying attention to them. You had to type in missing charger or use the word wire. That's all you had to do, because that was also trending for another reason. Maybe it was language translation. Also on the same day, in spite of the fact that this was posted earlier that day, the Democrat and Chronicle and many other websites said an anonymous source, because they repeated this same story, said an anonymous source said that the FBI had been to John Beilman's home on the 3rd of October. Which means there's no way to corroborate it. I mean, it might have been since then, but we don't care about that corroborating. That was in this. Now we have FBI, John Beilman. It's words, not expressions. Suicide and murder. Paddock committed suicide after he murdered people. Current year, current month, within a week of the shooting. They go by weeks, you know that, right? I know that. So that climbed ranking. And if you stick FBI in it, I mean, you got FBI in there, just throw in CIA, Illuminati, New World Order, any other wording you want to, it will force trending. Because that's enough to get it to trend top just for the subject matter. As long as you put in John Beilman or the murder-suicide, or just, you can now mention New York at that point because the system is going to care, not an atom that has nothing to do with it. You have now forced a connection between these two stories. So anyway, sometime before October 6, 2017, a fake news site, several of them, one of them is called What Does It Mean, had to say the following in order to get page rank completion. A murder-suicide in New York of a key witness to the Las Vegas shooting, even though he wasn't anywhere near there, he's not a declared witness, happened shortly after the FBI raided his home. Therefore, we all know what happened. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I'm not going to complete the sentence because if I do, I'll look like an idiot. So said the web author. Well, how is he a witness? And then they don't explain why he's a witness. They just say, well, it was linked to something, and they said he invented something or patented something. The story's changed a couple of times since then. And it had to do with something while he was working at a company called Ultralife. That started trending. And that company name was associated with a battery that, or piece of equipment, charger, whatever, that had the word military in it. Now, if you have a charger, there has to be a battery to go with it. So they typed in military battery, Ultralife, page name, site, whatever. And they found a part number, so they just threw a copy of the description into the page without reading it. It was the CP502520 3-volt, 600 milliamp hour lithium magnesium oxide thin cell non-rechargeable battery. The only charger that is available is a military charger for this non-rechargeable battery, and it was found in Stephen Paddock's room. How do you know that? Oh, we have secret sources. The SVR told us. It's a Russian intelligence agency. It hits all the points. It's perfect. You found search engine ranking for your subject matter. You're being drowned out because everybody types in the same thing and gets the same stuff. So you find something else that's trending that's not really interesting, but you fuse it together. And it doesn't matter if it makes any damn sense. You can stick it together with whatever. But cut and pasting the fact that it's a non-rechargeable battery you're claiming is using a charger. And a bunch of people, when I pointed this out on the previous video I had, I think the video went away with the other channel, a bunch of people said, well, You can still use the charger to recharge a non-rechargeable battery for some reason. And did you forget the orientation of your spin doctoring? You know, what's your axial motion on your twistoflexor? Orientation. It's a butt joke. Anyway, what was your original? Everybody loses what the original thing was. They found a charger that didn't have anything to plug into. No, they were missing a cell phone. You see, the reason this all started is the police department said something badly. We're missing a phone. What? One of the phones he had is missing. We're looking for it. We'll probably find it at his house. Oh, that's not going to trend. Missing cell phone found. Chipmunk was detected in a forest. Anyway, next. So what happens when your meme is shot down in less than a week and the story is straight up dumb? Just keep repeating it. So now it's the current year. Are you going to stop posting this shit in October of this year? You're not going to do that, are you? You have to keep reposting this. Mostly because it's annoying to anybody who's fact-based or even looked into it. So let's read the comments for the day, dead last. Wouldn't carry a charger that you don't have a phone to with you. Right. But what if he just left the phone at home? What if he lost it? What if he deliberately destroyed it because it contained incriminating evidence? What if he just threw it in the garbage because he was done with it because it was a burner phone? Why aren't you looking at the most obvious thing that maybe he just destroyed evidence? Why are you ignoring the fact they found the damn phone on the 6th or before? The IMEI number and SIM card number are probably listed on the freaking list. Okay, so the charger, you wouldn't carry a charger. Okay. How many of you have a docking station for your phone that plugs it into your computer for synchronization, and or, you know, that's back in the old days before we Bluetooth tethered? Or how many of you have a charger that you leave at work plugged in, so, you know, for $5 or whatever, to make sure the phone's working, and charge it up at home on another one so you don't have to carry the charger because it's extra weight, extra crap to carry, something else to lose? How many of you have lost a phone and didn't bother throwing the charger away because you're too lazy and stupid about it? Then you're in on it. Gift this. So anyway, in closing, this is a dumb damn subject. So anyway, instead of answering all of this data or just pointing out maybe you just threw the freaking thing away, it's a missing cell phone, not an extra charger. You're going with the meme police here. I said maybe on his last visit to Mesquite he left one cell phone behind, and said screw it, since that's probably the most likely outcome. And again, they found the phone, not the missing charger. It's not a missing charger. It's a missing phone. It's not an extra charger. It's a missing phone. Slowly let it ooze into your soul that you're pushing things. This is a conceptual way of forcing things. When people look at alternate ways of viewing things, that's great. But if you ignore the normal ones, you're not thinking normal. So anyway, here we go. Wabtec seems to make these excuses to fit the narrative often. No. You guys keep bringing up stuff that was wrong a long time ago. This was wrong before it was even printed. What makes you so determined to say the cops are right on, and that's that? They're not. They make mistakes all the time and refuse to acknowledge it. Just like every other cop I've ever run into, when their push comes to shove, they get more belligerent and stupid about stuff to the point that it's really infuriating and should result in all of them being fired for doing that. And again, I have to say this very forcefully, I don't want to see that idiot do another press conference. With all the inconsistencies in this case, you mean them saying things before they know the answer? I wouldn't be so quick to think they just made mistakes, but they did, and that's what we make fun of them for. They make mistakes. You saying those were deliberate mistakes? They aren't full of it. I don't know if they are. Don't care. I just don't understand how you put so much trust in them. I don't. I debunk them too. They've said things that are stupid. You missed the previous channel? Thanks for posting this dead meme. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. This is how to kill a meme that was born